Hello, hello, hello. So we're going to talk about how to know what to do with your life, we're going to say. We're going to start by singing the affirmation. I'm RNK. I create programs to support action-oriented spiritual people to live free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched lives, man. So if that's you, you want to message me the word immersion, and I'll send you a link to everything that I have in store for you to help you start, shifting, man. So, starting. I am happy, I'm expanding, this is my day. Here we go. I am happy, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. I'm expanding, this is my day, this is my day. I am happy, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. I'm expanding, this is my day, this is my day. Woohoo! We're expanding, this is our day. Hello, hello, hello. So, how do you know what you're here to do? Too many people tell me that they don't know what they're here to do. I talk a lot about living a fulfilled life, and nobody knows what would fulfill them. And I've seen this, I see this quite a lot. I've worked with clients for a long time, and a lot of them come to me saying that they don't really know what they want to do. And the problem is that for most of us, we went through the school system, and the school system kind of gave us this general education, did not tell us, didn't really help us focus in on the things that we really wanted out of our life. Okay, so we did a general education. Suddenly at 16, we were supposed to know exactly what it is that we want to do for the rest of our life, and we were scared silly, and so we didn't really know. And then our parents probably chose something for us. If you're like me, my parents chose that I become a pharmacist or a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant. So of all of those, I decided pharmacist seemed to be the easiest one to go down that road. And so I became a pharmacist. I still remember my chemistry teacher saying to me, Rosemary, you're not supposed to be doing anything sciencey. You're supposed to do something musicy. And I'm like, yeah, well, tell my parents that. Basically, so I just kind of given up responsibility for the development of my life at this point to my parents, which is not a bad thing, I became a pharmacist, not a terrible thing, just not my thing, okay? And so yes, there probably was a bit of my life, if someone had really tried to get me to answer the question, what is it that would really truly fulfill you? I may not have known, but the truth is I always kind of knew. And I was always doing it on the side. Always doing it at church, always doing it, support. I was always doing really what I'm doing now, but more in a religious setting, okay? And I didn't think it was possible to create a life out of doing that stuff. So you did that stuff in your spare time, and you did the real important stuff like becoming a pharmacist and going to school and going to college and going to work for the majority of your life. And so for most people, it gets to the point where they really truly have forgotten what it is that they actually really truly want out of life. So you ask them the question, what do you really want? And they're telling you things that really have been conditioned into them. The other people tell us what the definition of success is, and we decide that we're supposed to go along with that, even though it's not fulfilling to us. Now, I believe that we can live very fulfilled lives. I do myself. So I don't see why anybody else is an exception to this rule. However, if you think you're an exception to the rule, then yes, you don't get to live a very fulfilling life because you don't allow yourself to. So people ask the question, how do I know what will fulfill me? I've created programs around this and everything, but you know what the simple thing is? What do you want? Take the time. Take the time to get yourself out a notebook and sit down and write down, what do I want? Now, to begin with, the chances are you're going to start writing down what other people have told you could make you successful. But you've already tried this, okay? If there is a part of you that is already looking successful to the world, which is definitely what I was a pharmacist, I looked successful to the world, but I was not happy. I was not happy. And I'd somehow convinced myself that my happiness was of a very low priority. Everybody else being happy was supposedly more important than my own happiness. I just had to do things in order to keep everybody around me happy and make sure I'm able to support this person and that person. And, I was even pregnant with I was about to be pregnant. I needed to make sure that I could look after a business and blah, 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 blah. I would dabble at business. I knew I wanted to be in business, but I'd dabble at business, but never fully commit to it because it didn't feel real. Whereas my life as a pharmacist, this other person's definition of success seemed more real to me. So even though I've always had a relationship with the divine, I've always been writing stuff down, having conversations back and forth, I would not even have trusted the divine if he tried to tell me that I could just do more of the things that I wanted to do. I would have said, no, I have to be practical, I have to be reasonable, I have to make sure, blah, 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 blah. I still actually remember somebody from my family laughing at me because I married my husband out of love. Because it was not the done thing to do that. You're not supposed to marry someone you actually liked. You're supposed to marry someone who was, useful or something. I don't know. So there was this whole thing about laughing at me for doing things because I've always been kind of slightly rebellious because I felt like I wanted to do my own thing, but there were bigger portions, like the work side of my life, I was willing to surrender to other people's opinions. But then the relationship part of my life, I was not willing to surrender to anybody else's opinion. I was going to marry who I wanted to live with, regardless of what anybody else had to say about it. But when it came to my work, which, you know what, we all spend how much time working, and yet we wonder why we walk around with some kind of low-level depression when you are spending most of your time, apart from sleep, work is probably the thing that you're spending most of your time at, and you're doing something you don't even really want because somebody else told you once upon a time that it was going to make you successful. And okay, so it's like, really? Really? Is that how you want the rest of your life to play out? But it's your choice. Because I can talk this stuff and I will continue to talk this stuff till the day I die. It's to remind you who you are. Because I truly believe that you can live a life doing stuff, only stuff that you want to do. Now, it will take you facing into your fears, facing into because you have been conditioned so completely to believe that you can only make money doing stuff you don't want to do. You have been conditioned to believe that. In fact, there are still people to this day that will laugh at you if you start telling them that, I want to do what I love, man. And they'll laugh at you. Yeah, do what you love. I just want to play computer games. As people sometimes tell me that, I love playing computer games. Will that make me money? People are making freaking money playing computer games. My daughters are watching Minecraft people who are playing computer games and making freaking money. So don't tell me that you cannot make money doing what you love. It will just take some crazy courage from you. Especially if you're in my generation, we're growing. These things, the fact that young people now are doing all this kind of crazy stuff seems like, and I say that, I still feel young. That sounds really old, doesn't it really? But the fact that people slightly younger than we are doing these things that we did not have the courage to do, it's almost like you almost want to judge them and cast them aside as, they're not serious, they're irresponsible. No, honey, you are being irresponsible with your life. This is your freaking life. Is this what you want to be doing for the rest of your life? Sit down with your freaking journal. Write down, what do I freaking want? No judgments as to what you think could make you money or can't make you money, because the truth of the matter is that you can figure out a way to monetize anything that you want to. But you have to first and foremost agree that you will do it. Because if you can't even get to the point of at least finding the courage to admit to yourself what you really want, then what chance do you have? What chance do you have of being truly happy? And this is it. People will generally somehow find a way to pretend that they're satisfied with this life. That is such a pity. So many new ideas and inventions and who knows what's hidden in people who are too scared to step away from the normal way of doing things and find the deliberate path, their narrow path to their true success. And I get it. I'm not going to pretend that this journey that I've been on has been the easiest. I sometimes wonder if I'm if I'm doing you a service by even telling you, because I know the journey can sometimes be a bit, oh my gosh, it can feel scary. But the person you become on the journey, the strength you discover inside of yourself, the power when you break through to the place where you're suddenly able to create things out of what seems to be nothing, that is so worth the journey. But it takes courage to start the journey. And sometimes you can't see the end from the beginning. And that keeps people, I better just stay with my little comfy thing over here. And like me, before bankruptcy and depression, I was dabbling. I'd start a little business here and then I'd fall back. Oh, I'm a pharmacist. What does it matter? I'll just be a pharmacist. And then you'd start again because there's something inside of you that's like, you need more. You want something more. You know you're called to something more. But the fear gets you every time. Are you done? 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 Are you done yet? Because true happiness, true fulfillment, true financial abundance, listen, you will always be capped when you're not doing the thing that you're here to be doing. You will always be capped. Always. True unconditional love awaits you if you will get on the deliberate life path. If you will get onto that narrow road, the moment you're on the broad road and you're working very hard, you probably even work harder than most of the people you know. You're working hard building a life you don't even really want. And it's silly. Gotta be honest, it's kind of silly. You kind of know it, which is why you don't want to get your journal out and write down, what do I want? Because if you actually tell yourself what you want, you'll have to face into the fact that maybe I'm just not being courageous enough to go after it. But that doesn't have to be, today is your day, man. I just sang it. I'm happy, I'm expanding. Today is my day. Today could be the day that you say, you know what? I will start creating room for my vision. But first and foremost, what is it? What do you want? What do you want? I'm looking at you, Facebook, looking at you, Instagram. What do you want? Write it down. Sit down. Go through every area of your life. I'm not just talking about work here. Go through every area of your life. What would you like actually in your relationships, in your health, in your wealth, in your work, in your hobbies? Although to me, hobbies and work are very, very joined together. When you get the thing you really love to do, you don't need something separate, basically. So yeah, what would you like? What would you like? What do you actually want? That is what will fulfill you. Sometimes we go looking on some mountain somewhere, waiting for the angels to come down with a magic trumpet telling us, whoa, yes, this is what you're here to do. Honey, it's just simply, what do you want? It's what do you want? Just get clear on that and then start moving towards it. Okay? 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 Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So I have a heck of a lot of stuff that I've created for you all to help you start changing those foundations that are really based on a lot of fear. And if you're going to live a life that feels really good, you're going to have to start shifting things. You're going to have to immerse yourself in a different way of looking at things. I have a heck of a lot of stuff that I've created for all of y'all. Until the next time, my loves, tag somebody else into this, and I'll speak to you again soon. Much amazing love. Bye. Go forth and prosper, man.